Welcome to another Petersburg By Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the SPbN By Night YouTube channel, where we play St. Petersburg By Night, a massive multiplayer tabletop role-playing game set in the world of darkness. We play Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter the Reckoning, and Werewolf the Apocalypse. My name is Nikki, also known as Crafty Mirage, and you can find me on all social media at Crafty Mirage, and I am one of the storytellers here at SPbN By Night. Make sure to check out SPbN By Night on all major social media platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, Twitch, and we are also on Spotify now, or Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast fix for the week. And you should also check us out on our website, stpbnight.com, where we have our city map, our storyteller profiles, and our one-of-a-kind threat meter. If you aren't already a subscriber here on Twitch, or YouTube rather, you should go ahead and hit that follow button and catch up on our past episodes. And if you're interested in playing with us, come join our Discord server and be a part of our amazing community. Today we are playing Mementos, one of the chronicles here on SPbN By Night. Let's introduce our players.
Hello, I'm Lilith, and I will be playing Leaf, who is the coterie La Sombra.
I'm Wex. I'll be playing Emmerich Vale of Clan Tremere. Yeah.
I am Ro. I will be playing Sean Allen, the nerdy Nosferatu.
Hi, I'm Panchi, and I'll be playing Walter Sims, the friendly vanishing Nosferatu.
I'm Leisha, and I'll be playing Parker, the grunge punk Bruja.
The last time our coterie was fully together was during a moment of extreme tension between the group when the Salubri Ramona created a schism between Leaf and Emmerich. Emmerich, showing nothing but loyalty to his clan and house, did as the regent of the Clearwater Chantry commanded, and obtained one of the Salubri for the Tremere. This, in turn, created a sense of betrayal in Leaf that Emmerich also shared, because he didn't understand why Leaf was so attached to this after just having met her. An Elysium was held during the weeks between our last session, where the kindred of St. Petersburg were able to speak on the behalf of the Salubri to state the case on whether they should stay or whether they should go. There was opposition from both sides, with kindred speaking for and against the Salubri staying within the city. Most of the opposition came from Clan Tremere, while most of the support came from kindred outside of that specific clan. In a very narrow margin of votes, it was ultimately decided by Prince Carmine Russo that the Salubri could stay within the city. As a result, the Tremere pulled their resources from the city. The Carmelita Nielsen Library was denied to any kindred not of House Clan Tremere. And it was highly suggested to those within Clan Tremere not to do anything else for free. Today, we find ourselves a couple weeks later. Wally, during that time, you determined that you wanted to go speak with Carmen Alvarez to learn more about this journal that she had asked you to retrieve. Tonight, you are in the neutral zone. You have dressed up for the occasion. And as you approach the building of De Noche, the building is a 2-story property that's built right next to the waterfront. It has a line out the door even in the middle of the week. It's got a modern feel to it with valet parking, and as you approach, you sense a pull towards it. I would like you, Wally, to roll your composure and intelligence.
May I blood surge?
Yes, you may.
Nice.
Actually, no, because you're not aware of what's happening.
But I couldn't steal myself because I was suspecting the Toreador might do something like that?
It's not the Toreador. You don't see the Toreador, it's the building.
True. Wally doesn't know who she's married to. Okay, yeah, fair. That's still a pretty decent roll. That's a 4.
4 is not enough. As you come as you come in sight of the building and you look upon it, you feel a magnetic pull to go to the building. You want nothing more than to be inside of it and to be just fully immersed in whatever experience is in there. This building is clearly the most impressive thing you have ever seen in your life, and you are in awe of it. What would you like to do?
He's going to look down upon himself because he still knows that he's meeting a important Toreador in the city. And now he gets this jitters, and this place looks more amazing than what he thought a succubus club would have been. And he wants to go in, so he straightens his overalls and his glasses on top of the face mask he's wearing. In we go.
All right, so you approach the door. You're approaching the doors. There is a line, and you do see that there are 2 security guards that are standing at the doors. One of them is a Latino man in his late 20s. He's got like a shadow 5 o'clock beard. wearing a tight black t-shirt that says security across the back, and faded jeans and some combat boots. And then the other is a woman who is a little bit shorter but has some muscle to her. She's got red hair, and you can see that she's got some scarring, some pretty nasty scarring that looks almost like a chemical burn that's kind of creeping from the back, from like her shoulder up to her neck. And she is also wearing a black t-shirt that says security on it, though the sleeves have been cut off. She's wearing jeans as well, and some combat boots. And the most notable thing about her is that she has 2 dogs beside her that are sniffing the air intently.
Given the place and the scarring and dogs and person and the penchant for people of our kind, to employing people of our kind, can I take a guess that any of them are kindred?
You can make a wits and awareness.
Sure. Can I blood search for
Or
them?
wits and insight, one of the two. Yes, that you can blood
Awareness.
search for.
I pass. It's a 5.
Okay, with 5 successes, you look closely at these people as you approach. They seem to be breathing. There's a blush to their cheeks, and they seem to just be ordinary people. They don't appear to be kindred.
But do the dogs recoil when I approach?
So as you approach, one of the dogs, a German Shepherd with a little vest on that says security on it across the side of it, he starts sniffing you, and next to him there's a border collie. And they both sniff the air as you approach, and you can see the fur on the back of their neck starting to go up, and the border collie specifically has started curling his lip a little bit. The German Shepherd seems to be more composed than the border collie, but the border collie is a little unnerved by you.
So no familiars then. Interesting. Excuse me. I'm here to see Miss Oliveris. I have a appointment with her.
The woman looks up from her dogs, because she had just noticed that they had a reaction, and she looks up at you and takes you in for a moment before looking to the man and taking a clipboard from him. Can I get your name, please?
Walter Smith. Walter Sims.
She glances down at the clipboard, and before nodding, "You're on the list." And she'll hold her hand out for your hand.
He will gingerly hold out his hand.
She takes a stamp that she's got attached to her belt and stamps the back of your hand. You do notice with your wits and awareness roll from before that there are 2 types of stamps on the belt.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
the color, and the one that gets put on you is a red color.
Okay.
But it just says it's a stamp that just says De Noche and De Noche VIP on it.
Gotcha.
She'll hold open the door, with muttering a command to the dogs, who immediately heel and sit by her side, laying down on the ground. And she'll hold the door open for you. Enjoy De Noche.
Thank you very much.
You'll find Miss Alvarez upstairs, down the hall, once you reach the second floor. Make sure to
Much
knock.
appreciated. Of course. That's the polite thing to do.
Some people aren't polite.
Well, that's very unfortunate.
You head on in. When you go inside, you are immediately assaulted by the sound of club music. It is shaking the floors. You can feel it in your bones how deep the bass is. And you have to pretty much weave your way through a very crowded dance floor. Despite, like I said, despite it being the middle of the week, this place is packed like it is on the weekend. But you do see through navigating the crowd, you do find the stairs that go up to the second floor. There is a security guard standing at the foot of the stairs. He's more leaning in a stool more than standing, but he sees you and gestures to your hand, indicating that he wishes to see if you have the correct stamp.
I will show the stamp that I've been given.
He glances at it, nods, and steps out of the way so you can go upstairs. Upstairs is a lot quieter, you immediately realize as you go in there. It's more intimate up there. There are these tall back booths for people to sit in and have more private conversation. The music from downstairs, while it is streaming through speakers, has been greatly reduced, and you can tell that there was some soundproofing that went into the floors here, so people could have conversations if needed up here. There's also a bar that's not manned. It's just pretty much looks like a bar where you can just grab a glass of something at your leisure. You spot the hallway that was indicated to you, and you head down it. There's about 3 doors in this hallway, but you do see that one of them is has a plaque on it that says C. Alvarez.
Very professional, then. Wally's going to knock.
Come in.
Okay.
So you open the door, and inside the office is got a very Art Deco feel to it. There's gold trim on the desk, which is very modern and sleek. She's got fake palm trees, like the potted palms, in her office as well. She's got a nice couch that on one wall that you can lounge in. Her desk sits pretty much towards the back of the room with 2 chairs in front of it. And behind the desk, again, like covering the entire wall, are 6 very large monitors where you can see footage of... Actually, give me a wits and awareness to see what you pick up from the monitors.
Okay. It's a 4.
A 4. All right, so on the monitors, you do see that there's live footage of the nightclub, various areas of it, and you do see that there are a couple of feeds of what look to be the streets of the city. You don't recognize the streets that are on the monitor, but you don't really have enough time to try to figure it out as she quickly changes those screens to more live footage of the nightclub. Now on the docks of the docks of the property, as well as one of the side alleys where the employees smoke cigarettes if they're having a break. Carmen is seated behind her desk, and she kind of swivels her chair around and looks and tilts her head at you. She's wearing a little black dress and has her hair impeccably styled as always. But once you enter the room and have eyes on her, that pull you were feeling when you were approaching the building and when you were inside the building suddenly goes away. And you no longer feel it. So you are no longer under the influence of awe.
Fascinating.
She'll arch her brow at you. I mean, it's Cuban Art Deco, so it's definitely a lot nicer office than most people have.
Good evening, Ms. Alvarez. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yeah.
By the way, when I look at her face, I'm looking at her forehead, not her eyes.
Okay. You can see that she's thinking for a moment, like looking up at the ceiling. Walter Smith, right? Sims, right. Sorry. I think I've only met you like the couple of times, and those couple of times I was either yelling at Scott or yelling at your other friends.
Yes, I do recall that. Yeah. I believe that was the occasion.
Such a fun night.
Rather interesting one, yes. I can agree. I appreciate you on agreeing on meeting me. I knew that sometimes it can get uncomfortable with my family.
You can see that she's actively making an effort to look anywhere but at you. But whenever she does speak to you, she at least has the, she's respectful enough to at least pin her eyes to your shoulder.
That's why he's wearing a mask.
I mean, you wore a face mask, so that is appreciated. The effort to make sure that my comfort level is considered is appreciated.
Of course, I wouldn't dare come into your own domain and disrespect to you in such way.
I love a polite Nosferatu. I've always liked your clan and your family. They've always been, well, they've been my favorite. After the Malkavians, of course.
That's very interesting to hear. Quite refreshing, yes. But unfortunately, I don't come here for pleasantries. It's not urgent business, but might be of good to your interest on the task you've given us.
Right, the journal. Did you get it?
Yes. We know where it is.
Okay.
We know who has it.
Who
And we
has
are
it?
on our way of getting it. The FBI has it. And here's the problem.
Ugh, fuck.
Yes. I was wondering. We already have the high risk of getting to interact with the FBI. And, the Salubri now, is this safe, right? This room.
This room?
Yes.
I mean, people who shouldn't be listening can't listen in this room, if that's what you mean. I have it soundproofed.
So I can speak plainly.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, the Salubri might have been authorized in the city, and but we still don't know what they were looking for in the genome. So I need to ask you, as you're the one asking us to get it, if you have any information on the contents, because I don't see why, in good faith, just a simple note-taking journal would cause this alarm between clans, especially this particular clan. And how would they want to get it? Like, or do you have any idea on the contents on, or why they would have been interested in that, or maybe who?
Who, the FBI?
Lake? The Salubri.
Salubri.
Yeah. Why are they looking for it? And
Well, from what I understand, Dr. Lake is the one who told them to come to the city. She told them it was safe. Now, Dr. Lake was a Toreador, a very kind-hearted Toreador, and she very much believed in Isabel's dream, and from what I understand, she was of a significant age. Perhaps she had some knowledge within her books her journal that the Salubri thought that they could benefit from. Or maybe they were tasked to retrieve the journal for her as a favor. I can't say, that's all speculation. I don't know why Dr. Lake told these Salubri to come to the city, other than it was supposedly safe for them. I don't know why these Salubri were interested in the journal to begin with. I was just merely doing my fellow clanmate a favor. Even though she was not here, I didn't want any of her information getting into the hands of those who didn't really need it.
But she's aware, then, that her journal is missing.
Oh,
And
I don't know. I
you
haven't
sent
seen...
us.
I just know that it's Dr. Lake's journal. I found out
No,
about
yes,
it
but
through...
Did she contact you for it?
No, I haven't spoken to Lake in months.
So she's not aware that her journal is with the FBI, as far as you know.
As far as I know, no. But I don't see black vans pulling around in the streets, so whatever is in the journal, probably not enough to warrant calling in the cavalry. If it was, they'd already be flooding the streets.
Or at least not smart enough to decode anything if it's properly written.
Dr. Lake was a
interest-
discreet woman. She knew how to be subtle about things.
You mentioned she's very kind-hearted. Do you know any of her doings in the hospital? Because we have this belief on some capabilities. Maybe she has met another Salubrian, had experiences with them. Does the city has any history aside from what's happening right now to the Salubri?
As far as I'm aware, no. You can make a wits and
Not as long as
insight.
you've been here.
You can make a wits and insight check if you'd like to, for whatever she's saying.
Can I blood search for it? Because
Yes.
a shitty roll for me. Can't I use intelligence for it?
If you knew Carmen better, I could see an argument for intelligence, but because you don't know her very well, you're having to very quickly try to discern any betrayals through her eye, like body language, facial reactions.
This almost got very dangerous. I had a very low pool, but I managed to get a crit without being messy. So it's a 5 with a crit.
With 5 successes, when she says that she isn't aware that she doesn't really have any knowledge of that, you do catch that she looks away just enough to arouse, she looks away more than she needs to. When she addressed you, she was looking at your shoulder, but as she said that, she moved her gaze a little bit further away.
That memory's in the city. With that?
I'm
Or
sorry?
Do you miss her?
Do I
you miss
miss
her?
Do I miss her?
Yes.
Well, she's one of the few Toreador who I felt actually gave a shit about the clan and wanted to actually get to work. I'm not one to sit around and do nothing, and I like keeping busy. Lake was very much helped meet those needs of mine. And now that she's gone, I have no direction within the city. So I just focus my attention here in the neutral zone.
When you mentioned she's gone, she's just left the city, right?
Yes, she left shortly after Isabel succumbed to the beckoning. Several kindred left as soon as Isabel succumbed to the beckoning. Probably because several felt that it was very big shoes to fill, and maybe some people thought that Carmine wasn't up to the task, but well, you shall see.
Interesting. Very interesting. So would you vouch for her if she's actually the one that brought the Salubri in? Do you trust her judgment on them?
I trust that she had Isabel's dream at heart, in mind.
Even if she left?
Even if she left. You don't have to stay in a city to contribute to its philosophies. Some people can leave and spread those philosophies to other cities.
Interesting. Well, it's a very nice view then to have of the world. I would like to meet her then.
I mean,
Maybe she could have helped me some.
I'd say good luck with that. I don't really have means of contacting her. She kind of just left without a word. Kindred do that sometimes. They just disappear.
I mean, if she's as of age as we're making her to be, it's not uncommon that maybe she herself was feeling her own calling.
Or she just decided to go to sleep for a while. The time that I've been in this city, a lot of shit happened. So maybe she just needed a nap.
That's fair. I believe that that was all that I had to ask you, as always.
How are you going to handle the FBI?
That's the thing we're going to discuss on today. It's going to be interesting post-Elysium meeting.
Oh yeah. The
We're going to find
Tremere
out
are
how this is going to end
the
up.
Tremere are very pissed.
Yes, Emmerich didn't seem very happy, and I grieve the loss of the access of the nuisance library. I didn't have a chance to take a look through it.
Just some dusty old books. But yeah, no, let me just tell you this. I will reveal one little secret. The Anarchs knew about the Salubri, and there was plans being made to bring them in. So, it's a good thing that they're with us rather than with Anarchs, right?
It is indeed an interesting position if we're talking politics. I usually don't mind paying attention to it, as one could guess that if they are no Camarilla, they would have inevitably be either Anarch or Sabbat or Autarchis, but yes, indeed in this case I believe that is very rather a good scenario.
Yeah, I mean, better they be with us than with the socialist Ventru, the hedonistic Toreador, and the sociopathic power couple.
A sociopathic power couple?
Yeah, Dottie's fucking unsettling. And Zeke likes to stab.
I don't recall those names, but I will keep an eye out, I believe then.
Well, you'll probably recognize Dottie from now on since she got put on blast in the Times. Might not see her now, actually, though. She's been put on blast. She'd be smart to lay low.
I don't recall seeing a Dot or Dottie on the Times.
Yeah, the Eileen Hughes, I guess it was her false identity.
Oh, that's unfortunate to be put on the news.
Anarch's gonna be anarching.
Fair. I say to you then to take care and be safe. I guess something the kind would say. But I believe I shall take my leave
All
so I
right.
can make it to the meeting today.
Okay. Have a good night, Wally, and when you get that journal, make sure to bring it by to me.
For sure. Thank you again, Miss Alvarez, for meeting with me.
No problem. Have a nice day.
Farewell. He's going to go to the door and give a little bow before closing it.
You head on out. As you're leaving, the dogs give you another growl a bit as they spot you, but do as Jennifer the woman commands, and lay on the ground once given the order. And then we move on to our next scene for the evening. Parker, you are going to see your grandma tonight rather. It's been a few weeks since you've seen Gran, since you were first embraced, and Scott did advise that perhaps to put some distance and get your bearings as a kindred before potentially going to visit someone like Gran that you both care about so much. But after several weeks of being good and learning from Scott and having a steady streak of hunting without any accidents, you are allowed to go visit with Gran. Scott drives you to the retirement facility, and he pulls up the car in front of the doors. And once he pulls the car to a stop, he glances at you. All right, I'm going to be right here, out here in the parking lot. I've got my phone on me. If you feel that voice in your head getting a little too loud, just send me a 911 text. I will be right in and get you out of there.
Got it.
Okay, be careful. Don't just act like nothing's different, because while it is, it kind of isn't. She doesn't know anything's different.
And she can't know, right?
She can't know.
Okay.
But have fun. If she asks about me, just let her know I'm at work or something.
Got it. Okay, I can do this.
All right. Have fun. You get out of the car and head into the facility. The receptionists require you to sign in for your visits. You are kind of pushing the visitation hours scope, but you're young and you're kind of adorable, so they kind of just hand wave and just allow you in after you've signed in. And you know exactly where Gran's room is. You've been here before. And once you arrive at the door, what's going on in your mind standing in front of the door?
Everything's normal. Everything's normal. Don't talk about any of the crazy shit that's happened. Don't tell her I've been shot. Just everything is normal. And she's fidgeting a bit with the small vase of flowers that she's brought as a present.
You knock on the door, and after a couple moments, you hear some shuffling. You hear the TV that's inside being lowered. And you see the doorknob open, turn and open, and the door swing wide open. You want to what does Gran look like, Parker? How do you visualize how Gran looks to the audience?
Fran looks like she looks like an old trucker, possibly. She has her gray hair pulled back, probably in a ponytail or a bun, to keep it out of her way. She wears glasses, but they're not grandma glasses. They're cool glasses. She's hip with the kids. And she has tattoos up and down her arms, most of them very faded by now. And she tends to wear flannels a lot before she moved down to Florida, and now it's mostly tank tops that kind of show off her tattoos.
So she opens the door and she is, as you described, tonight she's clearly is starting to get ready for bed. So she's got some pajama bottoms on and she's got a t-shirt on for sleeping tonight, but you can see the tattoos prominently displayed, and you see that she is holding a bowl with popcorn in it, and she sees you. Oh, Parker! Hi!
Hey, Gran.
It's so nice of you to come visit. It's late.
I know, I'm sorry. My new schedule has me all weird. This is morning for me, so.
Well,
but I wanted to come by.
Tell Scotty to put you on a better schedule then. That's the whole, I thought that was the whole point of nepotism.
Well, I kind of like this schedule. It's just harder to visit.
Oh, well, come on in. I'm watching The Price is Right. Got the Game Show Network on.
Oh, I brought these for you. And she'll hand over the little vase full of like a small bouquet of roses. Something you might pick up at Walmart.
Oh, here. I'll trade you. And I pass you the bowl of popcorn so she could take the vase.
Oh, thanks. And Parker will eat some of the popcorn.
So the studio, do you have the Eat Food Merit?
I do.
Okay, good. So the little living area that she has is set up, like her room in the assisted living facility is very much like a small studio apartment. You got the main room where she's got her bed, she's got a little seating area with the TV, and then she's got a very small kitchenette where she can just basically make meals for herself if she has the desire to. It's got like a mini fridge, very college dorm vibes, and then there's a small bathroom attached as well. But you see her go over to the TV area and set the vase of flowers down on the little end table that she has between her lazy boy, because she 100% has a lazy boy, and then just a regular overstuffed like grandma chair that she probably had picked up at Goodwill. It does not match. Like, none of her decor really matches. It's very kitschy, very like stuff, like stuff that she's picked up in travels vibes.
Fran's always had interesting stuff in her house.
Yep. Like, there's even a taxidermied raccoon, like, on the bookshelf.
That's Jasper. She's had him for years.
100% Jasper. But she'll sit back on the lazy boy and gesture for you to sit down. Sit down, come on, we can catch up.
All right, yeah. What have you been up to?
You know, I've been getting into dominoes lately. There's a lot of Cubans and like Colombians and everything in this area, so I've been learning how to play dominoes. I've got this one friend, Ernesto. He got me some authentic Cuban cigars, like they were rolled in Havana. So I've been smoking those lately, and it's been nice.
Sounds like somebody likes you.
Oh, sweetie. Of course he does. Have you seen me lately?
Yeah, you look great.
I'm not as prim. I probably something a lot different than his. I'm gonna assume dead wife or divorced wife. I don't know. Things get wild in these retirement facilities, kiddo. But how have you been doing? How have you been adjusting to working at the Walmart?
It's pretty nice, actually. I made a friend that works there, Jess. She's super nice. She's kind of been showing me the ropes whenever Scott's busy. So.
You got a fake ID yet?
Of course I do.
Okay, good. Everything fun to do around here requires an ID. Just be smart, right?
Leave the real one at home.
Yes, correct. Yeah. All right. So Jess, okay. I know that have you gotten used to the weather yet? I know it's a bit of an adjustment.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I actually kind of like it here, especially when the breeze blows in.
Just wait till hurricane season. There's going to be plenty of breezes then.
Yeah, not quite looking forward to that as much, but I think I'm ready.
Well, make sure to research your for hurricane kits. Make sure you, like, whenever a hurricane's going around, make sure you have a couple gallons of water, some dried goods, all like prepper stuff, basically.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry. Scott and I have all that at home.
Good. And I know that his place has the hurricane windows, so you should be fine there. But other than Jess, have you made any other friends?
Well, I did meet a guy.
Okay. Tell me about him.
Derek. His name is Derek.
Okay.
We met volunteering at the food pantry.
The food? Oh, so you got a little good one this time, did you?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a goody two shoes, but
you know what? Sometimes those are the better ones.
yeah, he doesn't even have a fake ID.
Yeah.
So
I didn't like the last one.
no, I know, Gran. I know.
Putting my Parker in very, very, very risky situations. I didn't like that.
Well, don't worry, that's over.
Good. But
Just work and volunteering for me.
are you volunteering with Scott with the second chance convicts?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was really easy to just kind of slip in there and get settled in.
I'm glad
It's
he's
not that
doing-
different from back in Washington.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not that different from back in Washington, or it's because your mom's not around to be a little Miss Judgy goody two shoes.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if she's the odd man out in the family. Like, is she the black sheep?
You know, I love your mother. I raised her. But probably she's got a bunch of delinquent. She's got a delinquent. I'm a delinquent. Your uncle's a delinquent, and she just like leans over and like taps your arm affectionately. And my little Parker's a delinquent too, and I couldn't be prouder of her.
I'm getting better at tagging, so I'm trying not to do as much here.
No. It's actually encouraged here. Did you know that?
For real?
Yeah, in the downtown area, the businesses in this in the downtown area, every year they have competitions to see who can get the best mural tagged on their on the side of their wall, like on their exterior walls. There's a prize and everything. They hire people to do it.
I guess I'll have to practice then.
Yeah, for sure.
Get better.
You could get
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you could get in contact with I forget what it's like if you get in contact with the art society of St. Petersburg, they could probably put you in touch with them. There's a big tagging culture down here. Like, everyone thinks that likes to act like they're Banksy.
Well, I'm definitely not that good, but
And then, like, there's in the downtown area also, there's just buckets of chalk just like available for anyone to grab and just draw on the sidewalks. It's a very rich art culture around here.
I've noticed that, and I really like it.
I do too.
just
That's why I
didn't know
like
it
living
was
here.
anybody. So
Well,
it's exciting.
they tend to these businesses, they like to one up at each other, so they tend to hire taggers of some notoriety. But I think if you just like get your name out there, get your tag out there, you should be able to make enough of a name for yourself before they do that little competition of theirs. And I think you should try to enter and get hired by one of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Maybe you can come practice with me.
Oh, I haven't done that in a long time, Parker, but that would be fun.
Just the two of us out with our paint cans.
Oh, that sounds like a lovely day. We can get some, Ernesto, he got me into this Caribbean rum. It's spiced. It's a little expensive, but you know what? That's what the Social Security check is for. And it's very nice with some Coke. So we can just take a bottle of that and start tagging some walls.
We can start with the Walmart.
I think Scott would love that.
Yeah, actually. If I ask him, then maybe I won't get in trouble for it.
All right. Well, did you want some snacks or something other than popcorn, and we can watch The Price is Right for a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So she gets you some of this. So she pulls out a bunch of junk food snacks that, like, there's an attempt for them to be health conscious. They're like, she's got some Cheez-Its that are like lightly salted, and like she's got some reduced sugar cookies, but like it's junk food nonetheless. And she brings them out, and the two of you have a relatively nice evening enjoying each other's company. And then we're going to move on to our last scene before our coterie gets together for the evening. Leaf and Emmerich. Leaf and Emmerich, you two have not spoken since Elysium. It's been a rather tense time. Emmerich, you have pretty much been keeping to the Chantry and your haven for the most part. And Leaf, you haven't really been able to contact many people because you have to be careful about how frequently you use that cell phone you purchased. But you did decide on this evening when the coterie is supposed to meet, who would have reached out to who? Who would have made the first move?
I think Emmerich would have just decided it was time to come back to the coterie if he wasn't contacted.
All right. Then Leaf.
Yes. I would actually say that after Leaf put together what she did, she would have sent a message to Emmerich to ask to speak before everybody met up tonight.
Okay. So about the same time, you both kind of decided to reach out to one another. I'll say Emmerich's message came through first. And then Leaf, your message to meet prior to the coterie getting together would have gone through. I'll say I won't force you to roll this one for this time just for the sake of brevity. But Emmerich, you arrive at the Coterie Haven. Give me a wits and awareness as you approach.
I can do that. Well, Wow. That's a way to start off the night. Messy crit, I guess. That's fine.
For how many successes?
Just four. Just 4 successes.
4 successes with a messy crit. So as you're approaching the Coterie Haven, you can't help but glance over to the gazebo, where Leaf had buried the bloodstone that you attempted to plant on her. And you see that there's been a change to the gazebo. There are now flowers planted in the dirt. Leaf, would you like to describe the flowers that you have planted around the gazebo?
Yes. So around the gazebo and the tree next to it, where the necklace is buried, is a pattern of black dahlias, sunflowers, and yellow carnations. And in the spot specifically where the necklace is buried is a single blue cornflower.
Emmerich, as you stare at this floral spectacle that has been planted, you are hit with the, I'm gonna say, the paranoia compulsion. As the result of your messy crit. You don't know what you're about to walk into, and this change on the exterior is kind of...
Yeah.
Is kind of unnerving.
Emmerich is gonna look over at Lanny and be like, be ready for anything. I don't know what she's up to, but it's probably not good. If she comes at me, take her down.
Lanny just nods, and you see her pull out her gun, check to see if it's loaded, turns the safety off, sets it back in her under her vest, and she's got her body armor on for tonight.
Yeah.
And you do see that she does kind of look around as if seeking out something, but whenever she doesn't spot it, she kind of looks mildly disappointed before nodding to you and gesturing that she's about to follow.
And yeah, Emmerich would enter.
All right, so you enter the room. Leaf, you said that you were wanting to have a certain discipline prepared.
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually hoping to catch Emmerich before he goes into.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If that's what you're wanting to, if that's what you're wanting to do, I thought it was going to be inside. Absolutely. All right. So, Emmerich, you start to approach the Coterie Haven. Leaf, what was it that you were wanting to do as he approaches?
So my plan was to be under the guise of my shadow cloak in the shadows outside, because I wanted to see his reaction to the flowers before I just walked into the situation. And yeah, so I would just be hiding in the shadows of the trees a little farther out on the other side of the gazebo.
Can you give me a dex and stealth, and you can add your oblivion to it to see oh wait, no, it's just a 2 dice bonus for cloak of shadows. So yeah, so it's dex and stealth plus 2 to see if Emmerich is able to spot you, because you're not invisible, you're just kind of hiding in the shadows. As the Lasombra are wont to do.
I got 5 successes.
All right, so Emmerich did not spot you, even though he scored a messy crit. He rolled higher than him, so you are he doesn't spot you as he's looking at the flowers. Now, if you're wanting to get an idea of how he's reacted to it, I would require a wits and insight roll. And then Emmerich, I would require from you a composure. I'm gonna say resolve and composure.
Okay.
Would I be able to use my heightened senses to be able to hear what he said to Lanny? Lonnie.
Let's do the wits and insight roll first. Just so, because I don't want to try to jumble two thought processes at once.
That is totally fair.
New jobs got me brain melted.
It's 3 successes from me.
3 successes, okay. Panchi, is that a hoopinha?
Oh no.
What'd you roll?
My turn. That is 6 successes with a crit, messy crit.
Ooh.
And it goes so good. It's gonna go so good.
Okay.
Oh, that.
So,
yep,
you know what?
Be great.
You know what? I'm gonna say that with heightened senses, yes, you do hear what Emmerich says to Lanny and are also hit with the paranoia compulsion.
Amazing.
Fair is fair is fair. Fair is fair is fair.
Sometimes them's how the dice works, guys.
That is how the dice work. It is a thing.
All right. So,
here we go.
Emmerich, you enter the haven, for the coterie haven first.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna walk over to the place I normally sit down, open up my satchel, take out my notepad, and start writing.
Wally and Sean, you two are currently obfuscated, as requested, and are now aware that Emmerich and Lonnie are inside the haven. Leaf, you approach and enter after Emmerich. He is seated in the library area, writing in his notebook. The scene is yours.
Emmerich's gonna look up at Leaf. With the flowers you're doing.
Yes, they are my gift to you, Emmerich. Do you like them?
They're a terrible choice. 3 of the 4 are going to die the next month. They're not suited for this climate. Sunflowers are fine. The dahlias, the cornflowers, and the carnations are all better suited to much cooler temperatures. This cornflowers might survive a bit, but once it gets really hot, they're just going to die too. It's not... I mean, if it was supposed to be a gift, I appreciate the sentiment, but we should probably get a gardener out here to rearrange things and make it at least plausible to continue growing.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sure our issues would be resolved by then. Are you aware of florography?
You mean flower symbolism, yes?
Yes, indeed. That is exactly what I am speaking of.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to recite what the different flowers mean? I'd be happy to do that.
I would love for you to tell me your interpretation of those flowers out there, yes.
Well, the black dahlia typically is mystery. By combining it with the other ones, it might be a dignified farewell, perhaps, or mysterious lure. The sunflowers are usually adoration, loyalty, or longevity. They're seen as a symbol of happiness and optimism because they turn to follow the sun, as it were. the yellow carnations. They symbolize love and affection. The yellow variety, in particular, can sometimes symbolize disappointment or rejection in love, but they are also seen as a sign of friendship or cheerfulness, so little mixed messages there. As far as the blue cornflower, one of them is probably, I guess, somehow symbolic, but typically it's hope and love and delicacy and refinement. Peace, openness, and tranquility. The fact that there's only one of them probably means you don't have much of that, or that is my interpretation. Did I get it somewhat close? Perhaps you have a different interpretation. Perhaps you read a different book than I did.
There were a few misinterpretations, of course.
No,
As is with...
There were no misinterpretations that what those flowers symbolize. Now, if you had a different intent, that's fine. Tell me what your intent was.
Clearly you haven't read one of the very first books on flower symbolism, which is fine. No, those were not all of the interpretations of those flowers. Black dahlias, in fact, represent betrayal. Sunflowers represent narcissism. The yellow carnations, you were correct about that one. Disdain, disappointment, and rejection. And the blue cornflower is a small bit of hope in all of the misery.
With the self-portrait?
Guess what's underneath that one? Guess what's underneath that one?
I don't care, honestly. Fertilizer? I don't... So you did a self-portrait in the garden. Fantastic.
No, it was very much representative of you. What's underneath that one is the tracking chip, aka the necklace you gave me the night of Elysium.
The tracking chip? What are you talking about? There's no tracking chip.
Oh no, Emmerich, I'm very well aware of what that necklace is for.
Oh, what is it for? Do tell me.
To keep an eye on me.
Really? And I suddenly learned this ability when? You're being ridiculous, and I'm not going to tolerate your more lies and slander from you. As far as betrayal, you're the one who was off mission. You're the one who decided to put your own personal moral crusade against above the success of our coterie. You're the one who betrayed me, and pretty much any hope I had of getting my sire back alive. Because of what? Why? You never told me why.
I attempted to tell you why, but you were too busy yelling over me and telling me that I'm just pretending.
Right. So once again, you're going to pretend you're answering the question and not actually answer the question. That's fine. I don't need to actually like you, Leaf. I just need you to do your goddamn job.
I was doing my goddamn job.
Your job?
Oh, there you go, interrupting me again before I can finish speaking.
Tell me how you were doing your job. I will listen.
Well, we didn't have enough time to communicate under such short notice. I was not acting out of mission. The information that I gained during that car ride led me to believe that the Salubri was in need of help more than anything else. She knew nothing, absolutely nothing about anything going on, didn't even know of the Camarilla or the Anarchs, and I believed that our best course of action was to help her and figure out fully what was going on before making any entirely rash decisions.
Okay, so you changed the plan and didn't tell anybody. Cool. We're on the same page.
Yes, it seemed we both had differing plans.
No, we had a same plan, and that was to capture Ramona. When we left, the plan was to take her into custody. That was our plan. You went off plan because she told you something that made you think that she needed our help, and you just believed her when she told you she didn't know anything. Right. You changed the plan. right? I mean, we're on the same page there. It wasn't me who changed the plan. I was always on plan.
I don't think it was ever in any of our plans to take her to the Chantry.
It was to capture her, was it not? That was a mechanism to capture her, and given the circumstances, it was the only mechanism I could see to make it work. Still on plan. I was doing what we said we were going to do when we left the damn building.
Yes. And I did not agree with you to go to the Chantry.
Don't care.
But Emmerich, you've been rather off this entire time, especially after finding out what she was. And I tried to talk to you about it.
No, you didn't.
I really did. No, I did. I really tried to talk to you about it, and you were more secretive than you've ever been before. And that made me a little nervous.
We were in the middle of a hunt and you casually brought it up, and I gave you a short and sweet answer because we were in the middle of a hunt. If you wanted more information, you could have asked. You didn't. Do you want me to tell you that how for the entire time I've been embraced, that every place I've gone, there have been stories of what the Salubri have done? There's whispers that they were involved in Vienna. Did I need to go into that? Should I have had to tell you that? Would you have even believed me? Apparently not. Apparently you think that the Salubri are the absolute saints of the world. But, you know, that's your interpretation based on what? A conversation with her in a car ride? I wasn't elusive, you just didn't ask. You didn't ask for a synopsis, you didn't ask for research on it, you just said, hey, how about those Salubri? And I said, we have a history, it's not great. If you wanted more, you could have asked for more. If you had questions about my behavior, you could have said something, I don't know, before all of this happened. Not make up stories about my behavior in front of the court because it is convenient for your story of protecting this clan that you don't know.
Oh, you're one to talk about making up stories. You told the entire court that I was being manipulated by her, that I was under some form of...
You just told me you were manipulated by her. You got in the car with one plan, you left the car with another plan. You were manipulated by her. You may believe her story is true, but it manipulated you and it got you off plan.
I don't
didn't
think
make that up.
Manipulating me at all.
Well, that's fine. I wasn't in the car because we shouldn't have split up to begin with. You shouldn't have gone with Parker to begin with because that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Let's get in the car with the random Salubri and 3 of her goons. That was just dumb from Parker. You did not need to go down that path with her. You could have come with us. We could have had a conversation. In the car, we could have figured things out. Instead, you decided to go off on this, whatever, crusade of yours and get in the car. And I don't know why. You didn't make good decisions then. You didn't make good decisions that night. You still aren't making good decisions. Particularly with the choice of flowers. They're all gonna die. Except for the sunflowers. Sunflowers are gonna be fine.
I went with Parker in that car because the last time I told Parker to do something, she blatantly ignored everything and just did what she wanted anyway.
I know, I was there. And then you left that part out conveniently when talking to the court. Oh yes, let's just say that Emmerich told her to shoot Parker and leave out the part where she had a gun to Parker and was threatening to shoot her anyway, and Parker was way off mission. Anyway, but we're gonna leave all that out, right?
What are you... I said that she had a gun.
Yeah, you didn't say that she was actively pointing it at Parker and making threats trying to get away. Instead you just said simply, oh, Emmerich told her to shoot her. That's why she shot her, which you and I both know is not the truth. She shot her as a distraction so she could get the fuck away. But no, that's... Oh. Wait. We good?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
out of character, didn't I say that she had a gun to Parker?
Yes, you did say at Elysium that she had a gun to Parker. What he's focusing on, what's getting lost in translation is you left out the part that Parker disobeyed an order.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the fact that he was actively threatening to shoot her. She did not say that. You said she had a gun. You did not talk about the part where she was actively saying, I'm going to shoot this one before Emmerich said anything. That is what he's calling you out on.
I thought that I said that she was threatening to shoot Parker and telling us all to get the fuck back. I swore I said that.
I don't have the transcripts from Elysium in front of me, so.
I know.
All right, let's back in character.
Fine.
We run with what information we know at this present moment.
And different people interpret different things.
Exactly.
So that's perfectly fine out of character. We can have different interpretations of the events in character. That's completely reasonable.
Okay.
That's how most fights happen.
Okay. I wanted to try and clarify.
Yeah, no problem.
Going in.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna stick with that. I did say that. So
okay. Back in character.
Yes. Emmerich, I did say that.
No,
I did. Yes, I did. I said that she had a gun on Parker and was telling us to get the fuck back and was threatening to shoot her.
You did not say she was threatening to shoot her. I specifically remember your words. You implied it slightly, but you downplayed it intentionally. And instead, you made it seem intentionally like Emmerich was just antagonizing her for no reason. Like she was this saintly Salubri. And you and I both know that was a lie. You saw nothing from her actual behavior. Maybe you saw something in her words, which I'm still standing by, one way or another did manipulate you. Maybe you saw something in those that changed your mind. But her actions, at no point can you argue that she is in any way saintly. She is a soldier.
I never once said saintly Salubri.
You said something like they're the best of us, they're the most empathetic of us, and you've known one of them for like 10 minutes.
I was speaking based on the research that I had been doing, and I did state that. I said that my knowledge of the Salubri came from deep research and people that I talked to.
And
I did state that.
I'm sure you got that research. Go ahead.
I was asked why I shot you. And so all I was doing was explaining my point of view from the entire thing. I was explaining my feelings about it, my emotions about it, my perspective of your behavior. I did not once accuse you of anything. I was just saying, this is how I was seeing my coterie member. And I became suspicious. And I became suspicious of you, Emmerich. I was asked to explain my actions. And then at the end of my entire explanation, I said in front of the entire court and to you, because you wouldn't let me speak before, that I lost my shit. And I let my beast take over.
Wow.
And that's why I shot you.
You still haven't answered the first question I answered.
You asked a slew of questions and then keep changing and responding to what I'm saying. I couldn't get to all of the questions.
I asked one question, and you still haven't answered it. I'm not the one changing the topic. You are. I'm just addressing it when you change the topic. You have not answered why this Salubri was important. Why? Why was it important enough to go completely off book and do your own thing at the expense of the coterie?
Can I get composure and resolve checks from both of you?
Sure.
See how much you're holding your shit together, guys.
Ooh, That's good. That's a non-messy crit. That's 5 successes for me.
5 successes, okay.
I also got 5 successes.
All right.
No crit.
Neither of you take any willpower damage. Continue.
What I saw in her is exactly what I saw in myself a long time ago. And before I even started this new life, I set out on a personal ambition to try and change a fuck ton of things. And that has only adapted to the society that we're in now. And the more I learned about that clan and what has been done to them and the lies that have been spread, the more I realized that the Salubri were the exact kind of people that I have set out to try and help, to try and create an area of peaceful living at the very minimum. There is a lot of fucked up shit in our society, in all clans, mine very much fucking included. And I think that a lot of the politics and everything that's out there is fucking bullshit. And all I want to do is provide a safe haven, a safety net for the people who need it most. And so, yeah, she tugged at my heartstrings. I was not the only one. And the things that were talked about in that car and the things that Parker said as well made me change my mind on how I should go about this. And I'm sorry, Emmerich, that I did not have enough time to talk to you about it, that we did not have enough time to talk about it in that park in the moment. All I knew was that she was absolutely terrified of the Tremere, that the Salubri as a whole was absolutely terrified of the Tremere. And I just wanted time to figure out what the fuck was going on. And that is why I called Marguerite. And that is why I tried to cash in the boon. And that is why I tried to provide asylum. Because in that moment, I did not fully trust you. And I know that that's not fair to you. I am aware. And I should have trusted you. But at the same time, after everything that's happened, and after what I heard at Elysium, I stand by my decision of not trusting you.
You can stand
because
by
Ramona is gone. And the Tremere, not you, but your clan, the one in charge, is responsible for a bunch of the Salubri getting fucked up who were just in hiding. Flamethrowers and all.
I don't even want to know where this flamethrower nonsense came from. I don't care, honestly. You've said enough. You have a personal mission. You expected me to know that. You distrusted me for not being on board with a mission I knew nothing about and do not support. I don't walk back anything I said. You may think the Salubri are kind-hearted, gentle, empathetic individuals. I know the stories my clan have told. I know what I saw in Ramona. I saw a warrior, not a scholar, not an empath. I saw somebody who was there to do damage, to be a spy, to shoot people if need be. Now, you can tell me all the things you want, but I know every chantry I've been to, and I've been to quite a few of them, I've had to move a lot, you know that. Every chancery I've been to, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The Salubri will deceive you. The Salubri will kill you. So, sure, your 5 minutes with the Salubri was fantastic, and I'm sure that it was very influential to you, but my 15 years and multiple cities and every Tremere I've talked to who's mentioned the Salubri, it has always been, they tried to wipe us out. They tried to wipe us out. We were just more clever. And we got away from it. And we, as a clan, from my understanding, did not let up. But we didn't hunt them down. We didn't commit a genocide. We defended ourselves. And you know what? They don't like to embrace, apparently. That's the rumor, at least. So yeah, their numbers are very, very small. That's not our fault. But, you know, you can tell me, we can just differ, have a different opinion on that, about how great they are. That's fine. I know what I believe, and that is they are not great. They are deceivers, and they have deceived you. Time will tell. We will see. They will make themselves known. They will cause a problem. They will become our problem. And you can take credit for that, and I'm sure it'll make you feel very warm and fuzzy on the inside. But since you brought up the boon, what are we going to do about that little oversight on your part? I'm talking about not trusting me and betraying you, which I haven't done. I just simply acted as we were supposed to act. But that was a betrayal. We worked together on that. We planned that together. We executed it together. You just were gonna be like, oh, it's fine. I just got this major boon from this individual. Not gonna mention it to you.
Give me wits and awareness rolls, both of you.
Oh. I got 4 successes.
Okay. You're on push to talk, Lex.
I also got 4 successes. Okay. I'm sorry.
With 4 successes, you're both at the same time able to hear and are startled, due to the paranoia compulsion, by the sound of a car pulling up outside.
Emmerich is going to go to the window and gesture to Lanny to watch his back, particularly watch Leaf while he's looking away from her, and look out the window for the car, whatever was going on there.
Leaf, what are you doing?
Just staring at Lonnie, just staring her fucking down and watching that gun, making sure that she doesn't press down on that trigger. She's if she could sweat bullets, she would be.
So, Emmerich, you look outside, you see Scott pulling up in his car with Parker.
Looks like Scott's here. Either way, Leaf, there are 2 things I need from you. One is that major boon. It is something I can use to maybe find a way to free Miriam. Maybe. And 2, you need to step down as leader of this coterie. You're not fit for it. Your personal missions are fine. That is not our coterie mission. We have a job to do, and if you're going to let your emotions get in the way of that, you're not suited to be the leader of this coterie. I need those 2 things from you.
I don't trust you to be a leader, and you're not getting that boon. I made that deal before I even really knew you. And originally, when I got it, after finding out about what's going on with your situation, I was fully planning on using it for that specifically.
And you didn't.
So,
it's still there.
It is still there. I'm going to hold on to it, and we will use it for that. But this is going to be an exercise in new beginnings.
Then I'll take major boon from you, and you're still stepping down.
I'm not giving you a major boon.
And
if I step down, you are not allowed to become leader either.
You can't set that expectation.
The door opens.
You can't set the expectation of me stepping down either.
Yes, I can.
The door opens.
No, you can't.
And Scott comes inside with Parker. And upon hearing the little bit of the loud exchange, starts rushing further in. You know we can hear you outside, right? You're not being quiet.
Hello to you too.
Just saying, they might, like, if there were houses around us, there would be a noise complaint by this point.
I guess it's a good thing we are surrounded by trees that will dampen the sound.
Where are Wally and Sean?
I have no idea.
He's gonna look around first and then pull out his phone and dial Sean. Sean, did you have Silence of Death up? Sean? Oh, I see it in the chat. You did have Silence of Death. All right. So, Sean, you can feel your phone vibrating in your pocket, but it's not making a sound. You see him look around a little bit. Sean, it's Scott. It's meetup time. I don't know where you and Wally are at, but get here sooner rather than later, please. Hands up.
Is there a back door?
Yes, there is a back door.
I'm gonna pretend to come through the back door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a Dex and Stealth to see how smoothly you're able to make that transition happen. Wally, what are you doing? Other than dying of laughter in your room.
I am Thorn. There's so many good decisions on this moment, but I think I'm gonna get shot if I do any of them.
You have two very paranoid kindred in the room with you.
What is the odds that I get punched?
I'm gonna re-roll because I got 2 successes on that.
Okay, go ahead. You can spend a willpower and
What is the distribution of kindreds in?
So right now it's like I would imagine, like, I've never seen the inside of this place for real, but like whenever I go to St. Pete again, I'll probably go visit it. But it's an open floor plan, like when you go into the front entrance, I would imagine that the back entrance has like what used to be a kitchen probably, and has been converted into something else, and then that, like, I feel like one side of the house completely is like the bookshelves, like the library
but
area.
people are not like back against the walls. Like I can go.
Emmerich is by the window. Lanny is standing where she can keep an eye on Emmerich and Leaf, but has her eyes fixated on Leaf, and Leaf very much is keeping an eye on Emmerich. I would say that there are two arching doorways for you to come out of, and Scott and Parker are by one, but the other one is free, and that's probably the one that Sean went through as well.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes is enough. You were invisible to start, so yeah, you were able to like just sneak over to the back door, come out of obfuscate, and then step through the doorway again.
I am pretty sure if I do what I want to do, I'm getting punched or shot.
What are you wanting to do?
Just because I have more intimacy with the person, I am going to be just around Emmerich.
Oh no.
Between him and Lenny, but in a way that Lenny cannot turn to shoot me without shooting him.
Okay.
And I'm going to be just like, what you looking at?
So you pop out of Obfuscate next to Emmerich. Emmerich, I will need a Dex and Brawl from you. Lanny does jump, but she's fixed on Leaf, and her orders were to defend Emmerich from Leaf, not Wally, so she's not taking an aggressive stance towards you. Emmerich, however, is paranoid, and you just popped out of Obfuscate next to him. So he is going, I'm not giving him the choice. You are going to try to punch her. Punch him.
Sorry, push talk. Not very well, but one success on the trying to punch. Wally.
Can I dodge?
Dex and Athletics, Wally.
Just because I knew that would happen, can I blood search?
Yes.
You only need one success.
Don't underestimate me.
Fair.
And that's a 2.
2? Okay, yeah, you're able to... Emmerich, you're not an athletic person. You don't get into fistfights, so, you take a swing, but Wally's able to just very quickly dodge out of the way.
Emmerich is very athletic, I'll have you know. He's just not very good at punching things.
Uh-huh.
What? Why?
The scene is yours, by the way, everyone.
Why, Wally, would you do that? Also, how long have you been there?
Were you listening in our conversation? Where did
No, I
you
just
come
got
from?
in. I just got in.
Where
I
did
got
you
in with them. He just asked about me. And because I wanted to know what you're looking at. I don't know what you're looking at. What's outside?
Leaf narrows her eyes.
/ insight roll.
All right, Wally,
I
give
would
me...
also.
Wally,
I'm just smiling.
Wally, give me a manipulation and subterfuge roll, and
I have none of that.
and Leaf and Emmerich can give me a wits and insight.
I'm not even gonna blood search.
Okay.
Manipulation and what?
Subterfuge. You're lying.
I have none of that. We're rolling 2.
Okay.
2 hunger dices.
Did I just?
I have 2 successes. That's all I managed to pull.
And I have a fail. A complete
What?
fail.
What did I just walk in on, guys?
5 successes with a crit.
All right. So Sean asks his question. What the hell did I just walk in on? Leaf and Emmerich. Wally is not being entirely honest right now.
I just smile.
Push to talk.
We can deal with that one later. It would have been convenient if you were here, actually, but that's neither here nor there.
If I weren't, or if
Oh,
I
I'm
were?
sure
You
it
were.
would have been.
Why would that be?
Scott looks at Sean. You walked into apparently what I'm going to categorize as a lover's spat, because they're fighting like a married couple right now.
Excuse me?
Maybe they should just
I
kiss
wouldn't
already.
say lovers, but grandparents.
Okay, yeah, that's actually more accurate. Grandparents fighting. There's years of pent-up aggression there. Alright. Everyone sit down. Please.
Emmerich will go back to his spot with his notebook and pick it up. Sit down and look up at Scott and take his pen in hand. Yes, let's come up with a plan. Is that what we're doing here? We have a mission to actually work on, right? We have things to recover.
Yeah,
right?
we're clearly going to do some work, and part of that work is ensuring that this coterie can function properly. And until this aggression gets settled, is dealt with, I don't think that's going to happen, because you're both going to be constantly working against each other. Or am I wrong? Do you... no. Mr. Vale, forgive me. Question for the two of you and answer one at a time. Do you feel that you are going to effectively be able to work together with how angry you are at each other right now? Yes or no?
I will continue to do
Yes or no, Mr. Vale? I prefer...
my job. I can do my job, yes.
Leaf leans back against one of the desks on the walls and sighs. I've worked with worse. I can still do the job.
Is that a yes or a no, Miss Leaf?
Yes.
I'm not one for talking circles, which seems to be a lot of Kindred these days. I'm a very yes or no, direct answer the question individual. So, we're gonna all sit down and figure out how we're gonna make this work. Does that sound fair?
I just want to get the job done. It's always been my intention.
All right. Since you two were yelling at each other when we got here, have you two hashed it out, or do you need to continue?
I don't understand. It's pointless to continue.
What don't you understand?
Leaf has told me she had her own personal mission. She apologized for it, and she's still mad at me. Like, I'm supposed to have known these things.
All right.
I don't understand why she's angry at me. She went off mission. She shot me. She lost her cool. She developed a soft spot for the Salubri after 5 minutes. I don't know what else to say. She's admitted all this. And he looked directly at Leaf. And yet, she's mad at me. And I don't understand it.
I'm mad at you because we all agreed as a coterie to bring Ramona to Marguerite. And I looked at you and said, bring her straight to Marguerite. No mistakes.
All right. So that poses...
Promise me, Emmerich. And you never promised. And then everything else happened immediately after
So let's
that.
pose the question to everyone except Emmerich and Leaf. Parker. What was said that night?
To take Ramona straight to Marguerite.
Wally?
There are a couple plans.
What was the plan that was ultimately decided on?
The plan we agreed to.
I didn't ask you, Mr. Vale.
I don't know, honestly, what was actually decided on, because nothing was decided on. People just kept talking over each other and then assumed it was decided on. But yes, Leif asked him with those exact words, so that he would promise, though he didn't say the exact words back, so I don't think that would be an exact quote to say that he actually agreed with the plan.
Sean?
As far as I'm concerned, we all agreed to take her to Marguerite.
And where was the confusion when you were on your way to take the Salubri to Marguerite? Mr. Vale?
There was no confusion. We left with a plan. I was under the assumption that everything that was said in front of Ramona was simply to get her cooperation. There's the confusion. We had a plan, it was changed, and you can't change the plan in front of the mark. That's the confusion.
Parker. Where was the confusion for you?
We were driving and then Leaf pulled a gun and Ramona pulled a gun and I don't quite know why.
All right. Wally, where was the confusion for you?
There was a wrong turn in the GPS.
Leaf?
After I was very adamant about taking Ramona straight to Marguerite's, Lanny made a wrong turn. And that's not something that has happened before with us, in my experience, anyway.
Sean, where was the confusion for you?
I mean, everybody started flipping out when a turn was missed. Yeah, so.
All right. So, we're gonna
Do
do.
you mind if I add something else to that?
Go ahead.
The confusion was furthered when a Church of Scientology vans showed up.
All right.
As well, and kidnapped Ramona.
Before the church vans, then, let's do a quick little breakdown.
Here's a discipline on me.
Scott kind of looks at you like, okay.
I tried calling out that we did a wrong turn and he almost made me sit down, but I didn't want to sit down.
Then be proud that you were able to resist.
Well, he already apologized.
All right. Well, that's been settled. All right. So you see Scott reach into his back pocket and pull out a map of the peninsula, and just just drop it on the floor, like laid out. All right. I got 2 places marked here specifically. That circle right there, and he points to the circle. That's the Church of Scientology. Then he points to a section that's very close to the Church of Scientology. A little like a squared area. That is the domain of the Principle of Faith. Now, those of you who were alarmed by the wrong turn, please raise your hands.
Leaf raises her hand.
All right. Would you not say that those 2 locations are relatively close to each other? They are pretty much on top of each other. I will say, just from the city map. They are literally touching each other on the map.
Honestly, I don't drive, so I wouldn't be able to say that the exact pathways lead to that, especially because in my old city, that wouldn't mean shit. You could have got
Wally?
2 same ways to the same place and to still get lost. So
The question is, would you not agree that those places are really relatively close to each other?
If you're looking at a GPS, yes. But
all right.
When apparently you look at the place, no.
Leaf?
On a paper map where the directions are not specifically given, yes. This specific case that you're asking, looking at that map, they are very close together.
All right.
Can I say something?
1 second. I haven't made my point yet.
Sure.
Mr. Vale, would you not agree that it is rather alarming when a wrong turn is suddenly taken when you're in a high stress, tense situation? I'm merely asking all of you to to empathize with each other, and I will get to the point where they will have to empathize with you as well. Would you not agree that it would be, if you were in their shoes, it would be alarming if there was a sudden wrong turn?
It wasn't a wrong turn, it was a missed exit, I think. And no, because I travel with Lanny a lot, and you look over at Lanny, she's fantastic at many, many things. She's often makes mistakes when it comes to turns. To me, it would have been But
if you were in their shoes, is the question I am asking. I'm asking you to empathize with your coterie mates in this moment. Would you not have been alarmed? Let's say they were they were about to take you to the Salubri to let them do whatever the hell they wanted to you. Would you have been alarmed if a wrong turn was taken towards where the Salubri are?
Look, I'm just going to say this so everyone can hear it. I didn't tell her to make the wrong turn, but I wasn't mad about it. And I did tell the Tremere where she was going to be, because that was my duty. Can I empathize with them being freaked out by the vans once they grabbed Ramona? Sure. They were never in any danger, though.
But it wasn't the coterie mission to bring them to the Chantry.
It was the coterie mission that we agreed on when we left to capture her, and we were off mission. I fixed that.
Dude, can you just please answer the question?
I can empathize given the heightened state and what I now know as a very high amount of belief in the goodness and amazingness of the Salubri, that yes, some people might have overreacted in that situation. A situation that I had no way of knowing at all.
Scott looks mildly annoyed at Emmerich right now. Moving on. For the rest of you, Emmerich believed that the plan was still to take her in. Is it not fair that it was an assumption for him to believe that nothing had changed in the plan and you were just saying something in front of someone who potentially didn't want, you wouldn't want to know the real plan or the original plan?
That is a fair assessment for Emmerich to have made, but we never discussed bringing Ramona to the Chantry.
So,
either.
From my understanding, it sounds like there is an extreme lack of communication.
I told you.
An extreme lack of empathy. He looks specifically at Emmerich. And extremely heightened emotions, and he looks at Leaf. I think you all need to effectively communicate with each other now and say what you need from your coterie members going forward to be able to effectively work together. Sean, why don't you start?
Communication is extremely important, and if nobody is 100% on what we need to get done, then we're not going to get it done, and shit like this is going to happen again. So we need to be like upfront and 100% with each other, because we have a fucking mission that we need to get done, and we need to make sure everyone knows what they need to get done.
Wally.
I just want people to stop keeping things from me. I thought you knew better than to do this to me. I came here to do a job. I need information to do a job. Okay, we can go off plan, but someone tell me what the fuck is going on so I can keep doing my job. I can't do job without information. But I think I've already sorted that out with Emmerich, but Leaf, if you want to just go off the rails, just tell me. I was going to say send me a message, but I realized you cannot send me a message, so I don't know what to do.
Parker.
I'd just like to know what's going on. Like, at all, ever.
All right, that's fair. Leaf.
I also agree that better communication is needed.
Emmerich.
I am so sorry. My Discord just cut out there. I was trying to say more.
Oh, sorry.
Continue.
No,
Continue.
it's okay. I agree that more communication is needed, and that moving forward, and Leaf will give a side eye to Emmerich without looking him in the eye, that if we all agree that we are working within the coterie and the mission's best interest, that we should do our best to stick to that, myself included.
And Emmerich.
What do I need from the coterie? The coterie as a whole, I don't need much from. Well, that's not entirely true. Sean, we don't really know each other. I'd like to spend some time with you at some point. We should get to know each other a little better, I think. Wally, we've, I think, sorted out our issues, and I think that we're going to move forward together, and I still very much enjoy working with you. Parker, you have a tendency to sort of go off and do whatever the hell you want. Maybe a little bit less of that would be really, really helpful. It's hard to let you in on a plan or to inform you when you're just going to do whatever you want anyway, from my experience. Maybe that's not how you always are. That's just what I have seen. I appreciate it. I'm sure it comes in handy sometimes, but for me, it's very frustrating to not have to end up with bad situations because you went off plan. I don't mind going off plan. I'm very good at going off plan as long as the goal stays intact. I don't think we need to, we've talked about staying on plan, going off plan. We need a goal. How we get there is subject to change. And I've told Leaf what I want, but she's adamant that she won't do those things. So I don't know where to move forward with that.
I never said that. I never said that. I am still willing to do what you want to do, especially regarding something. I'm still on board with that. Don't put words in my mouth and stop being a Tremere for 2 seconds.
Everyone roll a composure and intelligence right now. Everyone in the room has to roll composure and intelligence.
Gonna use Spark of Rage on us? Is that what's about to happen?
Nope.
Two successes.
1
successes.
success.
I got 5 successes, no crit.
All right.
Did you hear me?
5 success. Okay, so in order. Emmerich.
4.
4. Parker.
1.
Wally.
4.
Leaf.
5.
With a crit, you said?
No crit.
No
I
crit?
said 5, no crit.
All right. And Sean.
2.
You all feel the intimidating presence of Sean overwhelm each of you, including you, Leaf. He is radiating he's just oozing intimidation right now. He is standing. No, it's just Daunt. He is basically like he's standing taller. His eyes sharpen and narrow at all of you, and with a very commanding voice. Enough! Yeah, Scott, my bad. Scott, sorry. S names. You just, enough! We are not going to get the cops called on us for a noise complaint. I don't like cops. They're not good to my people. So we're going to communicate with each other politely. Is that all right and agreeable with everyone?
Fine with me.
Yes.
Fine.
Fine, just don't hit me.
He looks at Sean. And when he looks at Sean, it's more of it's like very, very much militant, like drill sergeant glance over.
Ain't gonna get no strife from me.
Once Scott gets verbal confirmation from all of you, you all feel the intimidating presence dissipate. The energy in the room feels like it's back to normal, at least from him. The air's not heavy with that emotion anymore.
That was very rude. Can we all agree not to use disciplines anymore to each other so we can all just actually behave as human beings? And Wally's like looking at the floor, tense as a pole stick.
I don't like doing that. But sometimes I don't, but I also don't like people yelling at each other in front of me.
Wally, does that include sneaking up on someone invisible and scaring the crap out of them? Just checking.
And not dominating someone to sit down.
You already apologized for that.
We've talked about that. It's not your concern.
And that is called payback. I will not be doing that again.
That is fair play. I deserve that. You're
so, what is it that you were asking of Leaf?
Two things. Just two things. She chose her personal mission over the coterie, and that's fine, but that is not someone who can lead the coterie. That's my first condition. Leaf has to step down as the leader of this coterie. Not because of who she is or what her morals are, but because she put those ahead of our mission as a coterie, in my opinion. Second, there was an issue with a major boon that she acquired with a great deal of my assistance. We worked on it as a... Go ahead.
I'm going to stop you right there when it comes to boons. You're going to have to take that up with the Harpy. If you have an issue with that, reach out to... I forget what name he goes by. It's either Zebediah, Ezekiel, or Rianne. I don't know which personality he's at any given point.
It's not about whether or not the boon is rightfully hers or not. It was the fact that we earned it as a coterie, but she made the deal on our behalf without telling, me, really, and profited from it. And I took a great deal of risk in helping her with what I thought was a personal project. But instead, I was just being used so she could get a boon out of the principle of faith.
Take it up with the Harpy is all I'm going to say on that regard. You two need to, if you two have issues with boons, I don't fuck with boons for a reason.
Fair enough. If she doesn't want to give it up, that's her choice.
As for the leadership thing, what do the rest of you think? Parker.
Well, isn't that kind of what you're supposed to be doing?
He just, like, apparently. Wally?
I remember asking who thought on who should have been the leader, and I was told she was not a tyrant, so I don't rightfully know on how this leadership thing works, but if for ease of mind of people, you can be the leader for all I care. I just want to do my job.
Sean?
Really haven't been here long enough to, know everyone, but again, with Wally, I just want to get the job done.
Leaf, do you think you can effectively separate your emotions and the task at hand?
I have already made emotional decisions, but that was based on new information given to me at the time and a lack of communicating that new information, which caused a lot of this mess. The coterie wishes for you, Scott, to be the leader from now on. I am not a dictator and would be more than willing to pass on leadership to you. My only stipulation is that Emmerich not be allowed to be leader either.
And what have I done that has made me unfit? I'm just curious. We're just talking now, very civilly and whatnot, but what specifically have I done against the interests of this coterie and not your personal interests? I'm curious, truthfully and honestly.
When the entire coterie agreed to take Ramona to Marguerite, regardless of the happenings around it, you decided to let your clan know the whereabouts of Ramona, and then instead of telling us about it in the moment, decided to not be cooperative and not be communicative, and then that entire disaster happened. And then you disappeared completely until Elysium, where I watched you thoroughly throw me under the bus in front of all of court and watched your regent pull their support of the Tremere from the Camarilla as a whole. So yeah, it's great that you're here and all, but considering the entire situation as a whole and the fact that you are also a Tremere, I just think that it would be best if the both of us were not leaders of the coterie.
I firmly disagree with you, but I don't have strong feelings about it. Of course I do, because you haven't said anything that we haven't already discussed. You claimed you had understanding of my perception and of things, but you obviously don't care about that. You don't care that you are the one who went off mission, and I was just supposed to magically know. I can't read minds. We've discussed this before.
This exact same back at you. The exact same back at you.
Sean, or not Sean, Wally. I saw you wanting to interject.
So what are you both saying and demonstrating clearly that are both really, really incapable of answering a Scotch earlier question of can you separate personal and coterie business, because clearly someone here decided to go off saving other people based on own beliefs, and the other one decided to throw the whole coterie to the Scientology church just because clan beliefs. So I would say that no, both of y'all are not trustworthy.
The coterie was never in danger from the church.
I don't care. I don't like the church.
No one likes the church. It's good cover, though.
That's the point. If no one likes the church, you're not allowed to call it on us.
I didn't call it on
Get
you.
it?
I called it on her.
I don't care. She was with her in the car. You called it
was-
on us.
I called it on her.
I
None
don't
of you
care.
were in danger.
You are being Emmerich.
I'm being
I
honest
look
with you.
young enough to be your son, and you are being a bigger a child than I am.
I'm not being a child,
Oh,
Wally.
I agree with Wally.
I'm
I don't
parting
care,
because I want to
honestly,
be
Scott,
leader of the
who you agree with.
coterie. And Leaf doesn't want to be leader of the coterie.
I can't trust her. Period.
Yes, and that's why she's not the leader.
Neither of you can lead.
Yeah.
Not while you two have this beef. You'll be looking at ways to stab each other in the back.
That's not why. It's not my intention to stab Emmerich in the back at all.
It might not be your intention, Leaf, right now, but that little voice inside of you holds a lot of resentment. And you can't tell me I'm not wrong. Sometimes sometimes it gets the better of all of us. While you may
That is a
agree,
point.
to not harm anyone within the coterie, if that guy inside you decides it wants to hurt someone, it's gonna hurt someone. And the first target will probably be Emmerich, and vice versa.
I unfortunately
I can-
have to agree with Scott on this.
There's nothing unfortunate about it. We all have a beast inside of us, and as we've all seen, sometimes it can get the best of us.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Oh.
Emmerich and Leaf, neither of you will lead. I will fucking take charge if I have to. And Sean, being a military man, he'll give orders on the field during jobs. Does that sound agreeable?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion, Wally?
May I have a thing that I might want to happen before we take that decision?
And what's that?
Can we improve on teaching the arts of the occult and a little bit of more information gathering to Sean before making those sorts of decisions?
Sean is not. That's not the.
I know he's not stupid.
No. What I'm saying is
I know
Sean.
you're not stupid, buddy. I thoroughly believe you have a lot of potential.
Wally, I'm saying that Sean will be the one to give the orders on the field. He will make the.
I don't think I understand.
You can give him your opinion. You can give him feedback, but ultimately he'll be the one to direct everyone to do what they have to do. That is what a leader does. They delegate. And on the field, I'm not going to be able to go out with you all the time. On the field, Sean will be the one to delegate the tasks during missions. Sean, do you think you're up for that?
My request still stands.
If you have faith in me, I will do my best. Again, I will definitely look to those with more knowledge before making any decisions.
Excellent. So, now that we've settled that, we've got a fucking journal to get. Do we have any ideas on how we're gonna get it from Tampa? Because we're sure as fuck not going over there.
Yes, I have a plan.
What is the plan?
Simply put, we have Dennis upstairs, make a phone call, maybe send a text message implying that basically that he has found out additional information about the owner of the journal, and he is afraid that someone is following him, and he needs Scott to meet him somewhere alone. We convinced him to say, Oscar. I would have said Oscar. Oscar to meet him somewhere alone, and help him get out of this mess.
All right.
We do think that Oscar's probably SI, so we'll have to be very careful. And Scott will need to be able to make sure he's alone, because he will be very paranoid and believe that everyone is out to get him when he makes this phone call. Once we get Oscar into a place where we can, a very convenient location for containing him, we will sedate him, I will ghoul him, and we will, after an appropriate amount of time, figure out all the things we need to do. We'll have him go fetch the journal for us. And that is the plan. That is my plan. I am open to changes, interpretations, or whatnot. But that is my plan.
Does anyone have any suggestions or alternatives?
I do know that we need to come up with a plan B just in case that one fails. The question being is, what can we do as a plan B?
Well, if you can't get Oscar, you can try to locate someone else within the FBI branch here in Tampa. Lure them out. Do the same thing, but they won't be expecting you.
I have a concern.
With?
If they are probably SI, don't they have any means to know if an agent has been compromised on that way?
We can certainly ask him that once we have thoroughly ensured his cooperation. It's a good call out, Wally.
This is a good soft plan. We can go through with the plan A and then discuss different ways that they might have to find out if one has been compromised. Then we can decide from there how to continue on. How does that sound?
I believe that works.
All right.
Give us time, buyers.
Then, this next week, we start laying down the groundwork to execute this plan. Everyone should contribute something towards it. Perhaps, Parker, maybe you can find a suitable location for the ambush.
Okay.
Leaf, you're good at hiding in the shadows. You can work with Parker and determine the best points of ambush in the location you both decide on.
May I recommend tranquilizers of some sort? He is still human as far as I know.
Maybe go to the Pink Barrel and get some ammunition. They have tranks.
I'm a good shot.
What is the Pink
I-
Barrel?
I can go to the Pink Barrel.
It's a
I know
gun
where it's
range.
at.
It's a gun range owned by Mal K. Vian.
Mal's a great guy.
Clever.
Yeah. Wally and Emmerich, you two are the bookie people. Maybe you guys can... Dennis found this book through that one handmaiden, was it?
Yes.
Maybe you two can try to determine where she's at, if she's still in the area.
Sure, why not? I have also arranged a place for Dennis to go after we're done using him.
Excellent. And Sean. I'm talking to myself. Sean, you got black market ties, right?
Right.
See if you can find anything else that might be potentially Masquerade breachy on the market.
Got it.
Does everyone feel confident with having a plan and assignments going forward?
I feel confident. There's one other thing I'd like to bring up, though.
Of course.
The necklace on our items to retrieve list. It is no longer a Masquerade breach. We've made sure of that. We won't be able to fully recover it, unfortunately. That's the best we could do, given the current strain on resources.
Well,
Is it in the hands that it's supposed to be?
It is in safe hands, and it is not a Masquerade breach. If you're asking, is it going to return to the prince? No, we were not able to get the necklace.
You asked if it could be returned to the right hands when we were first given that mission. So that's what I'm asking. Was it returned to the right hands?
What necklace?
It was one of the items taken. It was a potential breach. It's fine. Out of character, I don't remember who the right hands are. Unfortunately, I was
You specifically asked if the
Tremere.
bloodstone part of the necklace could be returned to the Tremere.
Oh,
yeah, Adamar would have assured you that the Tremere retrieved the necklace.
Yeah. No, that's what I got at. Yeah, so that's what I got enough of it out of it that we have it and it is not a risk.
I mean, you guys don't have it. The Tremere have it.
Well, yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's a $2 billion necklace.
Yeah.
Of course, it'd be too convenient to have that. Yeah, it is in hands that will keep it safe, as far as I understand. Whose hands specifically, I do not know.
That's not that. Leaf just blank faces.
I don't know
Just
who
completely.
who are the right hands supposed to be. This isn't a time for vagueness. We were just saying that everyone just said we need communication. If you two got... 4 of us are out of the loop here.
Simply put, the right hands are kindred hands, short version. More specifically, probably Tremere hands. Specifically, which hands on which kindred, I have no idea. I simply know it. Taking care of
a Tremere has the Bloodstone necklace.
As far as I understand, yes.
All right, thank you.
But not one within the city.
That's fine. It was just that's who it needed to go to. I just wanted a straight answer, but that's okay. It's okay.
All right.
I gave you a straight answer. I gave you the information that I had. I didn't have more information than that. It wasn't a misdirection. I simply don't know who has the necklace.
But you just said it's fine. It's fine.
We'll
Everything's
work
fine.
on it. We'll work on it. Scott says, we'll work on it. For now, I think all of us, need to cool off and just focus on the tasks at hand and be ready to apparently get a ghoul. Have we decided who's ghouling him?
Can it be a joint effort?
Nope. That's
Not
Sabat
how that
shit
works.
right there.
That's how you get a cative.
Oh, fuck that then.
I'm just gonna say that, well, I respect everyone in the coterie. I am the best at getting into individuals' heads. I think it makes the most sense for me to do it, as it will allow me to further make him more malleable more easily. That's my thought, and I'm open to other suggestions, though.
Out of character, how does the process of ghouling
So when
the
you
kind
are,
work
so
in
when
regards
you
of mental disciplines.
when you take a ghoul and you bond them 3 times, first off, you're going to take a stain against your humanity. So that is something everyone needs to know going in. You will have to do a remorse roll. Once you have the ghoul, they will have some significant changes. They will be able to start resisting disciplines. They just won't work on them anymore because they are now aware. So, but they will be more susceptible to their dominator. Whoever their dominator is going to have more sway over them because the thrall does not want to displease their regnant, their dominator. So.
But it's not blind faith.
It's not blind faith. It's
different from the blood bond.
It is a blood bond.
Okay.
It's just a one-way blood bond. It's basically indentured servitude.
It's gross.
It's gross. It's very gross. You're basically creating a slave for yourself. They will not displease you in any way. After a certain amount of time, though, being like they do start building up a little bit of a resistance to the same vitae and can start learning to fight back. There are some instances of ghouls who have learned to resist their dominators, but it's few and far between.
I will make you all this promise, though. When I get into his head, I will make sure that he is loyal not just to me, but to all of us, to take orders from all of us, to accept all of us. I will, over time, implant memories of all of us being protectors, confidants, close allies of his. I will slowly, as time permits, make him more and more believe that we are his true family.
You already have a ghoul, as does Leaf, correct?
I can handle 2. That's fine.
I'm trying to find out, because Chomper here is not gonna be chomping on anyone.
Agreed.
No offense.
No, I agree. I agree on that one. She's too young to handle a ghoul right now.
Wally, do you have any experience with ghouling?
I've read a lot about it, but not actually made a ghoul or anything. I'm not opposed of you having it, as you are the one now commanding the field.
I don't have any experience with it. However, we can all have homework if we want to figure out who exactly would be a good fit.
How about a vote? Next time we meet, and once we have the ghoul, we write down who we think should be the dominator for the ghoul, and whoever has the most vote, whoever's name is written in the most, will be the one to ghoul them. Yes.
Out of character, for the mechanics, are we doing experience points from the coterie sheet to get
it would be the coterie.
Ghoul?
Yes, it would be coterie XP to buy the ghoul.
Okay, so we get to make the ghoul then.
Yes, you get to make the ghoul on the coterie sheet. Yes, it's the coterie's ghoul, but one of you has to be its dominator.
I mean, given that it is an SI agent, do we get to make it, or do we get whatever we get?
You get to make it, but you have to make it together.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
Go.
So we have to make it like an SI agent, yeah?
Yes, you have to make it like it. So he's gonna be very remember he's saying he's from the Smithsonian, so he has some intelligence. He's not just a martial build.
No, I agreed. He's SI in the FBI. Right. He's gonna have.
And he's FBI. Nothing like military politics and
but
politics that Sean gets to ghoul him.
Back in character.
Okay.
How about a vote next time we meet?
So yes. So basically, we can all have a nice week to think on this, to figure out who we would want to vote for, and perhaps maybe a reason why.
All right.
Or I'm just gonna say that if someone else ghouls him, it's going to be significantly harder for me to actually
not
get
unless
in his head.
Not unless the person who ghouls him agrees to allow you to.
It's still not as direct. It would be harder, but Yes, theoretically.
Ghoul can be ordered not to resist. It's always an option. Alright. We've got a plan. We've got our assignments for the week. And now I've got to go fucking track down 3 of my guys that I still haven't been able to find since that fucking night you guys went out.
Kept them sweet. Those are your guys?
Yeah.
Well, I kept them safe. I don't know why I was keeping them safe.
In
Parker
fact-
just asked that we kept them safe. I just got them to leave danger zone.
In fact, Emmerich, if by any miracle or curse, however you want to view it, you ever do get Ramona, release her in your little chantry, she owes me a fucking boon for feeding from my guys.
Fair enough. I guess you're welcome. I don't know.
I was going to handle her regardless of what happened to her, but she's outside my reach.
Yeah, she's. Yeah. I'll let you know if she's wandering the streets or whatnot. Assuming they tell me. I don't know.
We will go ahead and conclude our session here tonight, this scene. We cut to a dark room. The lights are turned on. There is nothing except for walls, concrete walls, and a floor with a drain in the center. Chained to the back wall is a young woman with black hair and blood leaking from her forehead and eyes. The door opens and a sandy-haired man wearing a nice tweed suit enters. The door closes, and as you pan out, you hear screams. And that's where we're going to end our session tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of St. Pete by Night Mementos. While the Salubri were welcomed into the city, some Salubri did not have a happy ending, as Ramona is, and probably forever will be, a captive of the Clearwater Tremere. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you here next week. And definitely go ahead and check out our great shows over on Twitch. We have Rage Across Tampa tomorrow. We have Don't Get Caught on Thursday. On Friday, we have What the Hell Was That? We have After Dark on Saturday. And on Sunday, we have our Camarilla game, Bloody Strings. Make sure to catch up on all of those. You can find them here on YouTube as well. And we will see you here next week. Bye!